The default cursor in Path of Exile can easily get lost amidst all the action happening on the screen. Luckily, there are a few new in-game options as well as third-party software in order to make sure you never lose your cursor again. Hi guys, Catmaster here with another quick video. You know the problem, right? In Path of Exile, it's very easy already on the base resolution to lose track of your cursor because it's just like such a tiny little thing. And now imagine, I mean, this is 1080p, the cursor does not scale up, all the UI scales up. If I play this in 1440p, which I did, it's almost impossible to keep track of the cursor. And the game's designed to run at all sizes, like even 4K and beyond. And on 4K, I've been told, it's impossible. The cursor is, you have to imagine, in relation to everything else on the screen, the cursor is only a quarter of its size on this resolution. So it's almost impossible to follow, which is why a lot of people are using third-party software for the game. But Grinding Gear Games has now finally made a step in the right direction with this, and they've added the option to change to a new high contrast cursor in your cosmetics option. This is a cosmetics, like a microtransaction slot, but the high contrast cursor is free for every account. It's slightly bigger than the default cursor and, you know, immediately helps you not lose your cursor. Even in 1440p, I would still say this is almost usable, right? Like it's much harder to lose track of, and they also added new options where you can actually have the cursor change when you hover something that's clickable, and also when you click it that it looks slightly different, but that seems to be still a little bit buggy. I don't know, it didn't work completely fine earlier for me. It looks okay though. I prefer a static cursor, but those are very good. If you're just starting out to play the game, I recommend that you activate that all. And then, of course, you can also buy a cursor pack with Val, Marakath, Karui, Eternal, and Ezomite cursors to your account. These are at a reasonable price of 10 bucks for the 5 cursors. I would actually prefer it a lot if you could just buy one of the 5 cursors for 20 points instead of having to buy the entire pack for 100 points, because you can only use one of them at a time. So it seems like a weird sort of move to make you buy more than you would otherwise buy, because why would anyone in their right mind buy more than one cursor? You would just buy the one that you like the most and play with that. And eventually, maybe when you get fed up with it, you're gonna be like, oh, let's try and look at a different cursor, right? So it's, I don't know, that's the worst thing about the whole, you know. A lot of people are very upset about this cursor pack, but I think it's great if they add more avenues for people to support the free-to-play game development. And this doesn't come at a cost for anyone else, right? There's pretty much no downside. The only thing that is missing, in my opinion, is a slider and the user face options that would allow you to change the cursor size. That's literally all I want. And then I may actually look at not using YOLOMOUSE anymore. But YOLOMOUSE is a third-party application, which I will link in the description down below, that lets you change your cursor between various like pre-installed ones and color variations of those, right? You can go back to default, or you can also somehow, yeah, use custom cursors like this Neon Cat thing. I haven't looked into how to use custom cursors, but what's really cool with the default cursors, at least, I don't know whether this works with the custom ones, is that you can actually use the controls that you predefine in YOLOMOUSE to change the size of the cursors. And I've been using this for years, and I've seen more and more people use this because the visibility of the cursor is just so poor. But when you change this to the pink one, this stands out so much. Like, this is super high contrast against anything, right? And obviously this takes a little bit away from the immersion in the game because it doesn't fit with the flavor of the game, but that's exactly what makes it stand out. But, you know, I can imagine that grinding games would much prefer it if people would use the actual in-game cursor, because that looks much more flavorful and fits the game better. But then please give us an option to scale up the size, and I will try to do that, because I actually like the look of this cursor. It actually has this sharp, pointy feel to it. I like it. It's great, much better than the default cursor. It's a step in the right direction, but for now I've still chosen to continue using YOLOMOUSE because it's just much better. Anyway, make sure that you let me know in the comments down below what you think about this whole cursor ordeal, and check out the YOLOMOUSE link in the description down below if you haven't. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video.